Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 18 of the Deus Ex Cinema podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Clues, and for the first time ever, it is only Sureyya and I.
Yeah, because Morty's a cook.
So we are reviewing the third and final movie of our musical rotation. Sureyya, it was your pick. What was the movie?
La La Land. The saviors of jazz.
So then, let's, keep with tradition. If you'd like to go first, since it was your movie, give us any background you had on La La Land.
Bruh.
And maybe generally what you thought this time.
Bruh, second time watching this. First time we saw it together.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a back-to-back movie.
What did we watch before it?
I think it was the Tombstone movie with Liam Neeson?
No, because
Walk 'em on the Tombstone?
We saw Walk 'em on the Tombstone and Equalizer. That was that double feature. I have no idea what we saw before La La Land.
Was it Snow White?
No, we didn't see that in theaters.
When did La La Land come out?
2016?
2016. What movies came out in 2016?
Yeah, let's see. La La Land. Alright, you keep talking. I'll try and find the movie.
The first time we saw this together, it was at the theaters. We had seen a previous movie before it that was like 2 hours. This movie is also 2 hours, so probably not a good idea to watch two 2-hour movies back to back like that. So First time we saw this, I did not really like it.
Was it Why Him?
I don't know.
No, I saw that with Isaiah.
No,
Sorry.
we saw that. All three of us saw that together.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, I did not like it the first time, and I'm pretty sure it's because it was just a back-to-back. This time, I quite enjoyed watching it.
Okay, that's good. So
and I hyped myself up by listening to the soundtrack.
Well, you've always liked the soundtrack, right?
Yes,
I remember that.
Not every song. There's probably only like 3 songs that I actually really like.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not. Let's see. 2016. No. I'm gonna go down such a rabbit hole for this, even though nobody is gonna give a shit whatsoever. Was it Doctor Strange? Trolls? Hacksaw Ridge?
Not Hacksaw Ridge.
Arrival.
Oh, I think it was Arrival.
Arrival sounds right. It
was
Arrival.
Because Arrival was long as shit, too.
Yeah, because Arrival was really long and very emotionally draining. And then we saw
Did they come out around the same time?
Arrival came out mid-November. La La Land came out early December.
Yeah, it must have been Arrival.
So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because I checked all of December from 2016 and there was nothing that we saw in theaters on that list.
It must have been Arrival.
Yeah, so
Arrival sounds right.
Yeah. And especially, just any movie having to follow up Arrival, I feel like is pretty impossible.
Shut up.
Not even just saying like...
That's because you're biased.
Not even just saying because Arrival's an amazing movie, but just because...
You are biased.
But just because it's so heavy.
It is heavy.
It's such a cerebral movie. You know, like you need to think the entire time. And it's so long, and then you get to the end and it's just such a downer.
Fuck yeah.
And then you go to something like La La Land, where it's all colorful and whimsy and dreamy and this love story. And it's not a good double feature.
No.
Anyway.
And like, fucking Arrival fucked with my mind.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what it was going for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Arrival fucks you up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Arrival that we saw.
Yeah.
It sounds so right.
It makes sense. So as you said, we saw it. This was also my second time seeing it. I was kind of lukewarm on it the first time. I think by this point it's clear that I'm not really into musicals from our other 2 previous podcasts. But I liked...
What was the first one we saw? What was your pick?
High School Musical 3. You weren't on that episode.
Okay, well, you
refused to watch it.
Both you and Marty kind of chose not really true
I would count The Wall as a true musical. I don't think it's a traditional musical, but it's a true musical.
It's not like your typical Broadway kind of musical deal.
Well, yeah. I mean, High School Musical is a true musical. It's just trash.
I wish if it had been the first High School Musical, I think I would have been in that episode because I enjoy the first High School Musical.
Well, I don't enjoy any of them, and I picked it anyways. But so when we saw the first La La Land, I really liked Damien Chazelle, the director and writer. His first major release, Whiplash, which you showed me.
I fucking love Whiplash.
And so I think coming from Whiplash into this, the first time we saw it, I think that was one reason why I was a little bit disappointed. Just because there's a lot more for someone like me in Whiplash than there is in La La Land.
How so?
Just because I don't really like musicals very much, and Whiplash was...
Not a musical, it was more...
Yeah, it was just a drama centered around music.
Yeah.
Which in a way this one is partially, it's more of like a romance centered around a musical.
Yeah. In
a way, but we can get into that. So, and I remember when we saw it, I kind of came away from it saying, it's a good movie, it's just not for me. Right? Yeah. And I think watching it the second time, I came down to pretty much the exact same place. Where it's kind of like, okay, I don't hate watching this. This is a good movie. It's just, it's not my type of movie. Yeah. I'm just not the audience, And I believe this won Best Picture, did it not?
No fucking idea.
6 Oscars. Jesus. Best Performance for Emma Stone. Best Achievement in Directing for Damien Chazelle. Best Achievement in Cinematography. Best Achievement in Music Written for Motion Pictures. Best Achievement in Music Written for Motion Pictures Original Song. Best Achievement in Production Design. So it did not win Best Picture.
So this is what... Is this during the time before the Oscars kind of went to shit?
No, the Oscars have been shit for years.
Well, yeah, but I mean, let's be honest. It's gotten shittier the past 2-3 years.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. What won the 2016 Best Picture? Was that the year? Was that the year where they got it wrong? And they said,
yeah, that was the year. That was the year.
I don't think it was.
That was the year.
Spotlight won. And when it was wrong,
didn't they say Moonlight?
Yeah.
Why are you saying Spotlight?
Spotlight won in 2016. Or is it the 2017 Best Picture? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. All right. Yeah. It was with La La Land that they fucked it up.
Yeah, because they said Moonlight. Yeah. They said La La Land first, and then they fucked up, but it was actually Moonlight.
Because she had the wrong card, so it said Emma Stone on it, so she just said La La Land.
Oh fuck.
Which I will. This is going to be such a scattered podcast, but I will agree with you that definitely since La La Land, the kerfuffle, we'll call it, with La La Land and Moonlight, the Oscars have definitely lost a lot of credibility. Hi, Marty. Hi, Macy.
We're home.
We're doing the podcast without you.
Hi, podcast listeners.
You missed all the jazz.
Oh, no.
But I will agree with you that the Oscars have definitely been, at least in a popular sense, really downtreading hard since then. Because there was that, and then everyone fucking hated Jimmy Kimmel as a host because he's a hack fraud that's not funny.
We're not shit-talking hosts, Aaron.
We're shit-talking
the Oscars right now.
I edit. I can shit-talk whatever I want. And then this past year, it was just a fucking joke.
Fucking Black Panther. The fuck is that shit?
Well, there's that. There's Green Book winning. There's, every year there's all the snubs. And then, but even on top of that, there's them not being able to get a host at all.
They didn't get a host this year?
No, it didn't have a host. First time since the 80s that they didn't have a host. They just didn't do it. Which I actually heard made it a lot nicer because it was a lot faster.
Makes sense.
And most of the hosts aren't good,
Yeah.
And
should have had Neil Patrick Harris.
Fuck that. They should have had Dave Chappelle.
What? Why?
That'd be hilarious. But they didn't have a host. They had the kerfuffle with wanting to do a popular movie category.
What?
Yeah, so when the Oscars were coming up, they announced they were going to do a popular movie category to pretty much give Black Panther an Oscar.
That's fucking they were stupid.
We want to have a Best Picture for artsy movies and a Best Picture for popular movies that people, that make a lot of money. People got mad, so they took it back. And then they said, well, to try and make it shorter, we're going to give away 3 awards during commercials.
Yeah, and then those were pretty hefty.
Cinematography.
Those are hefty fucking categories.
Can't make a movie without cinematography. Anyways, though, we're not talking about the Oscars. We're talking about the 2016 Almost Best Picture winner, La La Land.
What won in 2016?
Moonlight.
Oh, okay. So, okay.
I got screwed up because it was the 2017 Oscars, but the 2017 Oscars are for 2016 movies.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I thought, coming right out of the top, we could talk about the cold open. What do you think about the cold open?
Which one's where they're singing and dancing on the highway?
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I don't really know. It doesn't really introduce anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's what a cold opener is supposed to be, right? I guess.
Kind of.
Well, what's the definition of a cold opener?
I will look up a Google definition so I don't make myself look like a fool.
You've already made yourself a fool.
A cold open in a television program or movie is the technique of jumping directly into a story at the beginning or opening of the show before the title sequence or opening credits are shown.
Repeat that?
So it's when you just jump into a story and you haven't had any credits yet. Right?
Okay.
So because you jump in and you have everything's backed up, and then people get out and start dancing, and then at the end of the song it flashes La La Land in like old 60s style.
Okay. This doesn't really give us anything with the story.
Yeah.
The opening does not.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, it just introduces where they are.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. And the fact that it's a musical because they're singing and dancing.
Yeah, and the other thing, like, I could see how it somewhat works, because some of the lyrics that they have, I don't remember any off the top of my head, but sort of foreshadow what's gonna happen.
In the song?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Where they kind of sing about, like, moving on from relationships and those sorts of things.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is impressive because it's one really long take with a lot of moving parts, and the camera's moving a lot, and
they did it all in one shot.
Yeah, so that's very impressive. But kind of what you're saying, I don't think we need it.
No.
We could have just been fine without it.
Yes.
And I think one thing that I find interesting with this movie is I can't tell whether it hates or loves LA and Hollywood.
How so?
Because there's things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that opening is very LA. And all the sets are very LA.
Okay.
And, and they go to the planetarium, and they're on the Warner Brothers lot. And
They're
talking
on the
about,
highway with LA traffic.
Yeah, and they're talking about, like, film history, and everything's got that sort of West Coast aesthetic to it with, like, the neon bright lights, and every single building they're in, there's old movie posters, and like it very much fetishizes LA and Hollywood culture, but then at the same time it kind of shows, like,
there's a darker side to LA.
Yeah, and how it kind of eats up Emma Stone's character and
Yeah.
almost spits her out, and it, like, and there's so many points where the characters are talking about, like, how they just don't like LA.
Yeah.
Like, they're looking at the view and they're like, oh, this is the worst view I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting to me because it doesn't paint, it never paints a pretty picture of it, really. Mm-hmm. Because apart from the sets.
Yeah.
Because it's a beautiful movie. Mm-hmm. And the sets feel very LA. But there's no point where, like even when Emma Stone becomes famous, there's no,
That's
like...
a spoiler, Aaron.
Well, we've already gone through spoilers. We always have spoilers. This is all spoilers.
But you didn't mention this is the spoiler segment of the podcast.
All right. This entire thing is the spoiler segment of the podcast. If you don't want spoilers, rewind and go.
Forget everything you just heard.
And go away.
We don't want you here.
But because even when Emma Stone becomes famous and it does that 5-year jump, there's no sort of redeeming factor to LA, right?
Yeah.
Because it's sort of like this.
Because they close on, like, Emma Stone and her husband getting fucking stuck in LA traffic again.
Yeah, and they're like, God damn, I just want to go back to New York. Like, I didn't miss this. This sucks.
Yeah.
And then you also have that cyclical scene where she goes into this coffee shop where she used to work.
Yeah.
And she does exactly like what the star did at the other star did at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, so it's just a machine, you know? It just consumes people, and it just rotates them through, and then they're spit out and they're done, and they go away. Because everyone in the cafe is different.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't really have an answer. It seems very undecided on it, which isn't a bad thing. You know, that's totally fine. It's just, it's very unclear to me on whether or not it loves or hates LA. Especially because the cold open seems so goddamn LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you had anything to add to that.
I don't really know, to be honest. I'm not good at explaining feelings and opinions. Especially when I haven't really taken much film studies classes like you.
Don't let them know that. They won't respect us.
I don't know anything film.
They won't respect us.
Like, what's a camera? What's a recording?
Is Everybody Loves Raymond a film? So then the next note I had...
Is Black Panther a drama?
According to the Oscars.
Fucking Oscars.
So then the next thing I had was... And this sort of kind of ties into whether or not it loves or hates Hollywood and LA, I guess. But I thought the scenes with Emma Stone's rejections, like when she's doing all the auditions, those really hurt.
Those do really hurt.
Like, those really fucking hurt.
I mean, you and I have never tried to audition for any kind of role anywhere. But, like, I find it very hard to imagine that that's what auditioning for a role is like.
At the same time, though, I could see it.
I could also see it.
You know, because, I mean, there's hundreds of people probably auditioning for the same role.
Yeah.
And at some point,
and if the directors
not care.
or, like, casting people know what they want, then I could see it.
Yeah.
But, like, that's so brutal and so harsh.
Well, and I think even with not going to an audition ever, I feel like it's so easy to relate to, because everyone's terrified of that rejection. Right?
Yeah.
Like, she's just throwing herself out there, just pleading for a chance.
Yeah.
And they just can't even bother.
Yeah.
You know, they just don't give a shit at all. And I mean, really, I think that's one of the main aspects of this movie that I could connect with. Is sort of how it does a really good job of portraying that sort of, like, creative struggle. Mm-hmm. You know, which, I mean, you know, we're both creative people, right?
Yeah.
You know, like I write, you do a lot of creative projects. We have the YouTube channel, which is a creative endeavor, we'll say.
We just want to be rich, guys.
But you know, and especially it's really well encapsulated, I think, in Ryan Gosling's character, and really Emma Stone too. But where it's just they're both being rejected for so long.
Yeah.
And it's a really interesting look at, like, the two possible ways you react to it. Where either eventually you quit, like Emma Stone, and you're like, I just can't take this anymore. I've been doing it for 6 years. It hurts every time. What the fuck's the point? Like, maybe I'm just one of the people that doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Or you go like Ryan Gosling and you sell out or whatever. You know, and there's that scene where they're arguing, and he's like, you know, it doesn't matter if I don't like the music. Like, at least people are listening to it.
Yeah.
Like, just that sort of feeling of vindication.
And I mean, he's getting to do what he wants to do, in a sense. Like, he's playing piano, even though it's not true piano. Mm-hmm. And he's putting his own kind of twist on it, even though it's not what he originally had set out to do. I mean, like, you try planning out your life and you just don't, like, things don't always go the way that you want them to.
Yeah.
There's always going to be issues. There's always going to be obstacles in your way, and you're always going to be tested. Mm-hmm.
Well, especially, you know, when they have the scene where he's playing the concert.
And you just see Emma Stone.
And Emma Stone's there.
And she's just looking so fucking...
like, sad about it.
Yeah.
But then, whenever they show Ryan Gosling in that scene, he looks like he's enjoying himself.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
You know, he's kind of into it.
It's like Emma Stone's not really acknowledging that he's somewhat enjoying himself.
Yeah. And especially when they do have that big argument, because it spurs from, well, how long are you going to be doing this band thing? What about your dream of opening up your jazz club? Yeah. And it's like, it's been like a year.
Yeah, there's no way he saved up enough money to even, like...
With $1,000 a week and paying for an apartment in LA and supporting Emma Stone and himself.
Yeah.
$1,000 a week. Like, how about you chill down there a little bit?
Yeah, I think Emma Stone... I don't have the greatest way to say this, but, like, when Ryan Gosling confronts her in front of her house, saying that she's a baby, she's crying like a baby, she really is a baby about it, you know? She just, like, she's like a child. Yeah. And, you know, it's so easy to get what you want as a kid, that when you don't get it as an adult, it just kind of just turns you off from it. And then she started lashing out negatively and all of that, so... I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, and it is... I think the thing to think about, too, though, is that, like, she does say she's been trying for 6 years.
True.
And that's fucked.
Yeah.
You know?
But, I mean, how long was Ryan Gosling trying for it, too, though? We never know.
Yeah, you don't. But, I mean, that's what you gotta do, right?
Yeah.
It's just, you gotta keep hoping eventually it happens.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, I don't
Yeah, did you have any notes? I mean, I have a whole...
A lot of my notes are just based on the color in the movie.
Okay. It was very beautiful.
Well, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really like the coloring.
No?
No, it was too bright and so flashy.
Yeah? Okay.
And it was the same colors over and over.
You know, what it kind of reminded me of was Eyes Wide Shut.
I didn't see that movie.
You watched the first half with me.
Yeah, but, like...
Not so much in the... We'll tell you later, Marty. He was pointing at the new TV you got. Yeah. But not so much in... Because Eyes Wide Shut is not very colorful much at all.
Yeah.
But in that all of La La Land feels like a dream.
I mean... Are we, like, comparing it to a real dream, though?
Well, no, but it's got sort of, like, a dreamy
feel?
Yeah, like, it never feels real.
Yeah.
You know, you're never like, okay, these are real people in a real setting, in a real world. Partially because it's a musical, but I think also because of all the vivid colors, and they sort of, like... The sets don't always make sense. Yeah. You know, like, when they're up at that house, and then he walks her downhill to her car... And then, like, it seems like it was darker earlier, but now it's lighter, and it's kind of sunset. Yeah. Like, everything just sort of feels kind of floaty. Like, nothing's really set in stone in how it's sort of presented. Okay. And I think especially also the camera work is very reminiscent of that as well, because it feels very fake, how the camera acts. Mm-hmm. You know, because it's never, like... I mean, it's sort of in scenes of their romance. It's a little bit more grounded. Mm-hmm. I
thought with the camera, it kind of just looked like they were filming a play, like Shrek the Musical. Yeah. On Netflix, it just looks like a camera just sitting there, filming them, kind of like a real play, and they're just acting it out, which. It's kind of weird because a lot of what Emma Stone is trying to do, play and acting. So I don't know where I'm going with this.
No, I think you're definitely right. One of the notes that I had was that this movie does the whole concept of being a play but on film much better than something like Moulin Rouge.
I have not seen Moulin Rouge.
Because the way Moulin Rouge does it is it's very similar to Shrek the Musical. Because Shrek the Musical, like we were talking about, is just an actual recording of a live performance of the play. Yeah. Right? Like, they're actually on a stage, and these are all props, and it's a one-take live performance. Mm-hmm. Which is fine. So is A Christmas Story 3. You know? People do that. Okay. Did you need to know that? Probably not. Should I know it? Definitely not. But Moulin Rouge took the stage play and adapted it to film, but did it in, I think, the shittiest possible way. It's either Moulin Rouge or Chicago that did it. It might be Chicago now that I'm talking about it.
But I like Chicago. I fucking love Chicago.
Because there's... God, now I gotta look.
I think it would be...
Chicago.
Why? Really? I should have chosen Chicago.
Yeah, because Chicago I think does it the worst. Because it feels like you're just watching a play. Or is that Moulin Rouge?
I would say that's more Moulin Rouge, even though I haven't seen it. Because I've seen Chicago a million times. And Chicago... There's, like, specific scenes in Chicago that makes it feel like you're watching a play, but I...
Oh, no. Okay, yeah. It is Moulin Rouge.
Okay, see?
So, yeah.
Cool.
So, like, all of Moulin Rouge feels... It's all completely set up like a play. Mm-hmm. But my counter to that... and maybe it's because I just don't like plays. And I'm a film guy, not a play guy. But...
Says the guy who wants to see the Book of Mormon.
Oh, that's just because I'm a Trey Parker and Matt Stone fan.
Yeah, okay. Fucking hypocrite.
But my thing is, well, what's the point of making it a movie?
If you're not gonna
make it a movie.
Yeah.
You know. So I kind of like how La La Land does do that, where it feels like a play, but
it's still a movie.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, like it's always little flourishes that make it feel like the play. I think, like there's a moment when he is walking her to a car after the party, and like he kind of starts going to music mode, and she starts like. Doing like the idol actions that they kind of do in plays that wouldn't make sense that you would do in real life. Where like they're right by the bench and she was just hitting the car button to unlock her car to find it.
Yeah.
And they haven't moved at all, but she kind of just idly does it in the background.
Okay.
You know, it's just like to look busy while we're supposed to be focusing on the Ryan Gosling action.
Oh, okay.
Which they do in plays a lot, you know, where they just kind of they fade off to the back. And they were just kind of doing stuff to look busy so it doesn't look weird. Yeah. And they do that a lot in this movie.
Yes.
So I think that was the big thing that made me think play.
Okay.
I don't know what kind of triggered you on it. If you wanted to talk about that, maybe.
There was a few scenes where the like background and the setting looked like a play. Like it didn't look like real.
Yes.
Like it was made from the ground up, like play props are. Mm-hmm. One specific scene was where they were by the bench. Yep. And talking about how Ryan's not into her, but they're into each other. There was that
cheeky cunts.
And then there's the whole scene where they're walking down the like the little street with the film they're filming. Mm-hmm. He like goes into her coffee shop. Yep. Like that coffee shop didn't feel real. Yeah. It felt like a play in there.
I think what does that is that all the interiors that we see
look so fake.
And it's only one perspective.
Yeah.
It never changes. Once you're inside, it's like, okay, this is the set. Yeah. And it all sort of feels like a soundstage. Yeah. You know, like you're watching a sitcom where it's like, okay, they always enter from the door on the left. And then for some reason they have a staircase in the living room and the kitchen. Yeah. And it's just, it always has that sort of feel of being a soundstage rather than an actual building. Mm-hmm. So, one of the other things that I thought, two small things really, that I thought would be good to touch on are, one, holy fuck is Ryan Gosling charismatic.
Oh my god, he's so charismatic. I want to have babies with him.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this will come up later when we talk about what we've been watching a little bit, but we recently watched a good chunk of Blade Runner 2049, where he is anti-charismatic with intent.
But he's still, like...
He still is a little bit in that. But in this movie, it's like, he's so goddamn charming. In kind of like a smarmy, cheeky way, you know? And it just works. It works so well.
He's such a good actor.
And then the other thing that I thought was interesting watching it this time was it really stuck out to me how Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling can't really sing, but the movie does a really good job of making it work.
I feel like it does a good job of hiding the fact that they both can't really sing.
Yeah, because like there's no...
Because there's a scene where she's singing to the auditioners at the end, and like you can definitely tell she cannot sing.
Like, it's like whenever she goes high, like, her voice goes real quiet. Yeah. And it's like, there's no...
And it kind of strains.
Yeah. And, like, there's no big swell from either of them. Like, a lot of movies, like, fucking Les Mis, right?
What's
Like,
wrong
you can
with
just,
Les Mis?
like, when you watch Les Mis, you can tell that so much of it is just these people can sing, and they want to show you that they can sing.
Hugh Jackman cannot sing.
Okay, well, he can't. But there's a lot of other performances in that movie, right?
Like what? Tell me.
No, you know I don't like Les Mis.
You haven't seen Les Mis.
Okay, Rent.
Okay.
Right? There's the scene where AIDS boy...
Wow. Okay. There's multiple people in that movie
white guy with AIDS.
Okay.
Who is a recovering cocaine addict or heroin addict.
I believe it's heroin.
It's probably both. Because fuck Rent. And
wow.
You know I hate Rent. We could do a whole episode of me bitching about Rent. I would destroy you.
The podcasters would love to hear it, Aaron. Okay.
If they've made it this far.
I hope they have.
But, so like Rent, right? Every single character in Rent has a song where they have a big flourish moment vocally.
I'm trying to think because I've seen that movie so long, and I'm trying to think if there really is not.
Like, because there's the lesbian girl that's dating
Idina Menzel.
That's dating her. You know, and they have that song where they're arguing, and they do a whole shit ton of vocal flourishes there, where they have like the big bombastic rises, and then they go really fast.
Okay.
There's that one. There's the Santa Fe song.
For Tom, I believe his name is. I haven't seen Rent in a while.
You know, but then he also has like the really sad one when his boyfriend dies.
Yeah.
You know, it's just so many of the musicals for me personally is they always feel like they're showing off in a way.
Okay.
And I liked in this that it's very clear that these are two people who can't really sing, but they're making it sound good anyways. You know, and the music's never distracting because of that.
Okay.
Or because of them trying these grand, you know, operatic moments of it where there's no subtlety to it. Mm-hmm. You know, because I don't know if I've talked about this in any of our other musical episodes, but the big thing that I hate about musicals is the characters are just telling you how they feel.
Okay.
You know, like there's no because in a normal movie, right, like it's all about performance and how they say things and how the lines are presented and the cinematography of how it's shot. You know, and the lighting sets the mood. And there's all these components that go into conveying the emotions of the scene.
Okay.
And it either works or it doesn't. And it really separates good movies from really shitty movies. But then you get to a musical, and they just set the camera in one location, and they might twist it a bit, and then the person just sings at you for 5 minutes that they're really happy.
Okay.
You know, and then you're like, okay, they're happy. Cool. I get that now. And it just seems so much lazier in a way. And I know it's not, because it's just a different type of movie and there's all this music to it.
Yeah.
But just personally, that I didn't get that as much from this movie.
Okay.
Because it is so much more subdued.
Okay.
I guess. That's my rant.
Okay.
About musicals, apparently. So I have two other kind of big talking points, I think. Did you have any other notes that you wanted to hit? Before we get into these.
There was, when we first started, we talked about the cold opener and how it didn't really fit.
Yes.
There was the planetarium scene where they're dancing and it's all kind of just like Fantasia seeming.
Yep.
That also, it does not work with the movie, I feel.
It comes out of nowhere, that's for sure.
It comes out of nowhere. The music is too orchestral instead of like jazzy, I guess. Mm-hmm. And then
well, before you move on from the planetarium scene too, I think it's another thing that really makes it feel weird is that it kind of just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because like you're doing like a dating montage.
Yeah.
Right. And then all of a sudden they're at the planetarium without really any establishment of them going to the planetarium.
Or, like, any kind of idea why they would be heading there instead. I mean, she says, I have an idea.
Yeah, and then they go there. And then you get, like, another montage of them just kind of, like, dicking around in the planetarium.
That looks like it should be closed, so how are they in there?
But, you know, like, and it's just... it just feels so kind of shoehorned in. Like, it almost felt like Damien Chazelle was like, oh, we're doing a movie in L.A. We have to have the planetarium.
Yeah.
Because that's L.A.
Yeah.
But it didn't serve a point. And it didn't really feel...
The only thing it did was to feed off of when they were about to kiss in the theater before the movie got fucked.
Yeah.
And they moved to a whole other different kind of romantic location for them to do their kiss.
Yeah. It felt like it was all in service of the visual of them floating up with the galaxies behind them.
It's so Fantasia, man.
Rather than it really making sense. I mean, because you could have set that scene anywhere.
Yeah.
There was no reason for it to be at the planetarium.
They could have
it
done
never
it.
came back up. It was never introduced. It was just like, L.A. cool scene.
Yeah.
Planetarium bullshit. They're gonna float. Because fuck you, I'm Damien Chazelle.
Yeah, the weird
The Oscars love me.
handkerchief flying out of his pocket. It
Yeah.
seemed really Disney animated to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't, I don't think it works. It doesn't
Yeah,
work.
it felt weird. It felt very, very weird. What else you got?
Well, I thought maybe they added. Okay. I thought the planetarium scene was, other than not really working, I could see it kind of being both of them getting lost in their own world and then experiencing, like, the butterflies of building a new relationship or falling in love. Because, like, when they're floating, it just reminds me of, like, the butterflies you get in your stomach when you're with your significant other or something.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what I took from it, besides it not working. And then, I guess another thing I had was, the scenes where something starts happening and the scene just goes dark, except for them.
Yeah.
I found that to be, like, it's what they're comfortable with. It's where they really bring out their artsy, creative side.
Yeah.
Every time that something like that. I guess everything an artist is, or themselves as an artist is.
Okay.
And, like, the true creativity coming out.
Yeah.
And that's with Ryan Gosling and with Emma Stone.
Yeah.
Because Ryan Gosling with his piano playing, and then, Ryan Gosling with his piano playing in the restaurant at Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
And then Emma Stone when she's acting at the end.
Yeah, at the audition.
Doing her little Paris solo.
Yeah. Okay. No, I definitely, I dig it.
Yeah. That's all I had. The rest were just kind of repeats. A lot of, like, primary colors
Yeah.
were being used.
Primary colors.
Blue, red, yellow.
Everywhere.
They even had a secondary color in there. And then they had the same thing with the clothes.
Yeah.
All the clothes were, like, primary colors as well. Yeah. I thought it was weird that Emma Stone was trying to be an actor in a movie that she's like, and she's a huge actress in real life.
Well, it's kind of like Stephen King, right?
What do you mean?
Like 70% of Stephen King's books are about alcoholic authors, because he was an alcoholic author.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
How is it?
I mean, it's not, because it's about kids, mostly. But
Oh.
Like The Shining.
The Shining is
an alcoholic author. Rear Window is about an alcoholic author. I think Pet Sematary has an alcoholic author in it.
Why is Rear Window?
Secret Window, my bad. Not
Secret
Rear
Window.
Secret Window.
Oh my god.
With,
I was like,
yeah.
Rear Window.
Secret Window with Johnny Depp in the movie.
Oh, okay.
He writes about alcoholic and cocaine addicted authors a lot, because he was both of those.
Other than that, I noticed that when she was heading, at the beginning of the movie, she went into, like, the restaurant that Ryan Gosling was playing in.
Yeah.
And as she was walking towards the door, there was that mural of, like, actresses and actors in, like, the Oscars or something.
Yeah.
And they were all kind of dressed in primary colors as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all over the place. The
Yeah.
primary colors.
And then There was one thing that caught my eye that it's not a huge thing. It was just a minor detail, but in the scene where they're all Emma Stone and her roommates are getting ready to head out to that party to meet someone in the crowd.
Yeah.
All of them are wearing matching shoe colors with their matching dresses.
Yep.
Except for the one in the green dress who's wearing bright pink shoes. Why is that? Why is that there? If you're gonna have all three of them have matching shoes with their dresses, why would you?
Fucking cinema sins over here. Jesus.
Why would you have the last girl not have matching shoes?
Mm-hmm.
It just stands out, especially with a movie that has such a strong, like, picture with colors.
Yeah.
Like, you would expect every one of them to be matching. And it drove me crazy.
4 out of 10. Shoes didn't match.
Other than that...
well, if you don't have any other big stuff.
I don't believe so, no.
I have 2 sort of bigger conversations I'd like to have. Because we are getting to the point where we're going to have to start wrapping this up to talk about our other segment. Do you think the romance works?
What do you mean?
Like, is it believable? Are you invested in the romance throughout the movie?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I mean, I was fucking bitching to you about the ending.
Well, that's my other talking point. Don't go into the ending yet. Yeah, so, I mean, well, some parts of the relationship feel very real to me.
Yes.
Like the conversation when he surprises her, you know? It's
Yeah.
a very good night, and it turns south real quick, and a lot of bottled up things sort of come out.
Yeah.
Where it kind of loses me is the beginning.
The montage of them doing all these, like, coupley things together.
Not that. I thought that was fine.
Okay.
But, like, when they're at the party, and she starts, like, lip-syncing to him.
What party?
When he's playing Runaway, and she's, like, lip-syncing the verse at him.
But she was just trying to
sarcastically.
egg him on, though.
I know, I don't know, it made me cringe.
Super cringy, but it was funny.
It cringed me out. And then the other part is I wish it didn't have, like, the grand romantic gesture
Which was?
where he drives to Boulder
Oh.
to bring her back, you know?
Yeah, I thought that was cheesy.
Because so much of the movie is trying to do a much more real portrayal of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they do that, and it's like, yeah, sure, he's not stopping her plane from taking off to Alaska for 3 years, but it's the same in essence, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, from fucking LA to Boulder, Colorado.
I think it was in Nevada. I think it was Boulder City, Nevada.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
I thought it was Colorado, and I was like, you cannot fucking make that drive in a day.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Pick her up at 8 a.m. for an audition back in LA at 5:30.
It's Boulder City, Nevada.
Okay.
Yeah, it stuck out to me when they showed the library sign, and it said Boulder City NV.
I did not see that.
I saw the NV, and I was like, that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it just... So then I think it's a good point for us to transition into the ending. I know you get very angry at the ending because they don't end up together.
I mean, I don't want to say that I get angry because it's realistic.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the whole point of... I feel like with a lot of musicals, they always end up how they're supposed to end up.
Yeah.
Like, the guy gets the girl,
Mm-hmm.
vice versa, that kind of shit. And they do... Basically, the guy gets the girl.
Yeah.
Or something other than... Anything else happy happens.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say I get mad at it. It's just what the musical genre has been. I feel this takes a complete 180 from it.
Mm. And I do like that they don't end up together, The part that I don't like is how they do that very
long montage
of like how it could have gone perfectly.
Yeah.
And it feels as though it's just in there to try and punch you in the gut. And make
it does its job.
And make it more emotional than it really is.
Yeah.
You know, I think I would have preferred it, since I don't like him going and getting her and bringing her back into acting, right? I think what I would have preferred is she leaves and she decides not to be an actor. Right?
An actress.
An actress. Well, you know, that's sexist. Actor. And then she just doesn't come back.
Okay.
She's just gone.
Okay.
And then, you know, maybe we get some closure if she did go back to school. And now she's doing something else and she's happy.
Yeah.
You know, she just adjusted her life goals. She realized it wasn't for her. She moved on.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Ryan Gosling stays in his band. Maybe he gets the club so it's a little happy, you know, and he just like fondly remembers her one night when he's playing their song in the club and everyone likes it.
I like that.
And that's the ending.
Okay.
You know, it's somber, but it's not sad. It's real.
Yeah.
You know, and because the way they have it, where you find out, okay, she's married to this other dude, she has a kid, she's happy, she's successful. He's successful, he's not with anybody from what we see, but he's happy because he's focusing on his art. And then they hit you with the longest goddamn fucking metaphorical scene where it's like, oh, if this had gone perfect, and this had gone perfect, and then this had gone perfect, they would have had this perfect life. And it's like, who cares at this point?
Yeah.
You know, but it's going to trigger in all the people who get invested in the characters and the romance that wanted it to turn out well and it didn't. It's just going to make them feel sorry or sad because you're going to see how it could have been.
Yeah.
And you're going to be, and it's going to trigger that part of your mind that's like, you know, maybe, you know, like all the relationships you had that could have been. And you daydream about them, but they weren't.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just it seems so pointless to me. It seems so emotionally manipulative. You know, it's like in Marley and Me when they kill the dog. You know it's coming, and then it happens, and it's like, oh no, I'm supposed to fucking be sad. Mm-hmm. Like obviously Marley's gonna die. But yeah, so all that felt very unnecessary and very cheap to me in a movie that is better than that.
Yeah. And it's kind of a second ending to it, too.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like the Vavitch.
God, the Vavitch has like 7 endings.
But
or Lord of the Rings 3 that has 45 minutes of just multiple
yourself.
endings.
Do not talk about the Lord of the Rings, okay? Do not talk about it.
You know what?
It ends perfectly.
Because I wanted
Everyone gets their closure, damn it.
Yeah, but the problem is they all get closure 6 fucking times.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Because they
you
show
could cut an hour off that fucking movie.
No.
Hey, you know what though?
It's all necessary.
I know you don't want to do our Star Wars lead-up specials.
Fuck yourself.
But to make it up to you, what if we did a Lord of the Rings special where we watch all 3 Lord of the Rings movies and talk about them?
We have to watch them all in one go, and they have to be extended.
All one podcast. We'll
all
watch all 3.
Yes.
We'll talk about all 3 in one podcast.
Oh!
And then we'll also do The Hobbit.
No. The Hobbit movies are trash.
Alright, so let's wrap up La La Land unless you had anything else to add to it.
I don't believe so. I don't take very good notes. I was I was invested and I wasn't paying attention like I should be.
That's okay. So IMDb has it at an 8 out of 10. User reviews. Rotten Tomatoes has a 91%. If critics gave it a 5 or above. Metacritic, the average rating is a 93.
Okay.
Box Office Mojo has the budget at $30 million. Domestic or worldwide total gross is $446 million.
Fuck.
So made money hand over fist. Sureyya, what would you give La La Land, and any closing thoughts?
I'd give it an 8.
8? Okay, that's good.
Like a 7. 7 to an 8.
7 to an 8?
Yeah. I want to recommend that if you like musicals, this is a good musical. It's got some good music. It's not the greatest story, but I mean, all the aspects of a musical are there.
Yeah.
I feel. I mean, Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling are amazing in it. Mm-hmm. Like, they can dance, they can sing, and they do it well. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. It's kind of unique, I guess.
Yeah.
But, like, it's a musical. It's just another musical.
I think I'd come down at a 6.
Okay.
You know, just, again, it's a good movie.
It's average.
And I think it's better than... I'd say 5's average. I'd say it's a little better than average.
Okay.
For my personal scale, you know. It's good, but it's just not for me. So I wouldn't be okay giving it anything more than a 6.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't enjoy it enough. And it's not... It's a popcorn movie in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You know, like it has the emotional beats. And it kind of discusses, you know, that creativity aspects of being a creative person and dealing with rejection and trying to stay with it and all the sacrifices you have to make for that. But it doesn't really go too deep into it. You know, it's kind of just there, and then it's over and you kind of just forget about it.
Yeah.
So then, this is the end of our musical rotation. So we have watched High School Musical 3. I don't know who picked that. Marty picked The Wall. Pink Floyd's The Wall. And you picked
La La
La
Land.
Land.
So I guess that means Aaron Clues picked High School Musical 3.
No.
I think we have a High School Musical fan on our hands,
I think that was
guys.
Isaiah. I think he guest starred
Yeah,
on that
okay.
episode.
Isaiah, who hasn't been in any of these podcasts.
He was in the first 2. He was in the first bonus episode and then the first scheduled episode.
So, yeah. I think we have a High School Musical fan on our hands.
No, I fucking hated that movie. I hated everything about
I
it.
don't know why you chose it then.
So, because it was the troll.
You
thing.
had so many fucking options.
I gave Marty the option. I gave him 2 options in the episode before, and he chose that option.
And you went against that option.
I did, because it's funny. I'm the heel. Anyways, what would you rate those 3 movies? What are your top ones? We always do this. We pick our favorite. What's your top one?
I'd give it La La Land, Pink Floyd, and High School Musical 3.
That's
Even though I did not see High School
That's
Musical
the
3.
exact order that I would do.
So La 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 wins.
La 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 wins.
La 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 wins.
And I think it's fair to say that Marty would definitely pick Pink Floyd.
Yes.
Because he has a boner for that movie.
Yes.
And I would like to think that he put La La Land above High School Musical 3.
Of course he would.
Even though he hates jazz.
Dude. Emma Stone and
movies
Ryan
about
Gosling
saving jazz.
saved that jazz, man.
So,
La
moving
La
on
Land's
then.
the winner.
La La Land wins. Your movie wins this rotation.
And we're not.
musical.
Are we picking?
That's next week. We'll get into that.
I
at the
thought
end.
it was. I thought
Nope,
it was at the end of every John after
We'll
after
get
we
it.
watch all 3.
Oh shit! It is because I have to pick my next movie next time.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I'm not ready for that. So.
Oh my goodness. We'll just have filler here.
Well, no. So our new segment that we've been doing that we don't have a title for yet.
Oh yeah.
What have you been watching lately? What have you been up to? You finished The Bachelor season.
I did
you could
finish.
talk about that a bit.
This is the first time in my whole life where I have fully watched an entire season of The Bachelor. I've seen snippets from like the earlier seasons when I was younger. Never could get into it. And then I watched probably like 95% of Becca's Bachelorette season. I watched all of Bachelor in Paradise. Oh, I guess... No, this wouldn't be my first time. We watched all of Bachelor in Paradise.
Well, that's like a side story, though. That's not... that's not Bachelor, Bachelorette, or like
Okay,
the two
fine.
Bachelors. Also,
So-
did we... What genres have we done so far?
We've done sci-fi.
We did sci-fi. We did musical, superhero. There's another one that I'm missing that I'm forgetting.
Can I see the list?
Yeah, here's the list. Sorry for
We've done
distracting you from
we've
Bachelor
done
talk.
sci-fi. We've done...
Superhero.
Was it drama? We did drama.
We did drama. Thank you. Okay.
So
Yep.
sci-fi, superhero, drama, and musical.
I'm just taking out the ones we've already done so we don't have repeats.
Yeah. Oh, God,
too
I hope
soon.
it's foreign next.
Foreign's on there.
I want
All
it to be foreign.
So let's keep talking about The Bachelor.
Anyways, yeah, so I've seen snippets of earlier seasons, and then I watched like 95% of Becca season. I watched all of Bachelor in Paradise last year, and then I finally fully watched just an entire season of The Bachelor. Start to finish.
Which I should say, 90% of us watching it was Marty and I also being there making fun of it.
Yes.
A lot of it was
I make fun of it too.
Yeah, a lot of it was watching it ironically.
We like watching people fight over one girl and then they bitch about how this one girl is dating a whole bunch of them. When that's basically what the fucking show is. I must say I'm happy with the way The Bachelor ended.
Okay.
I don't think it's really been something that's been done before.
Okay.
From what I've heard and from those small snippets I've seen of other seasons.
Yeah.
Like Colton does this whole romantic gesture, basically. Kind of like La La Land.
Kind of like La La La.
And I mean, him and Cassie are fucking happy right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're a thing.
What else have you been watching? Unless you had something else to say about Bachelor. Here, you did one. I'll do one, and you can come back. I'm still watching BoJack Horseman.
Fucking BoJack.
I am now halfway through season 4, which is the second to most recent season. And I realized yesterday that season 6 should be coming soon. Or not soon, but in fall.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they usually hit. Yeah, and it is still rough. But it's still amazing. That show only gets better the longer you watch it. Every time you watch it, and as the seasons go on, it just keeps getting better. I still stand by when I first watched season 6 that it is the best season of television I have ever seen.
Okay.
Better than any Sopranos, better than any Breaking Bad, better than any Mad Men, better than any Walking Dead, Game of Thrones. Easily the most thoughtful, poignant, artistic, just driven season of television I've ever seen. It's also fucking hilarious.
Okay.
And I cry.
He's got a single tear falling, guys. He's looking out a rainy window.
Just a single tear out of both eyes. And then the other thing I guess we both kind of watched, we both watched like half of Blade Runner 2049. Recently.
Yeah, we did watch that, didn't we?
Which is an amazing movie. If you like sci-fi, slow burn,
so well done,
philosophical cinema, it is amazing. Watching it again, just that little bit, and we're planning on watching it this weekend.
What?
Or at least I am, because Austin's coming over.
Possibly. He might.
My brother's possibly coming over to watch it. And I think I'm going to have to watch it that time, especially since it is so close to when we just saw it, most of it again.
Yeah.
But there's about a 75% chance that's my new favorite movie. Like,
Blade Runner?
Yeah, Blade Runner 2049.
I thought you've been saying that for a while.
Well, I was always on the fence. I was like, I kind of need time. Cause like,
is it because we're watching it on my brand new TV?
No. But because The Matrix has been my favorite for years, right?
Yeah.
Like since I was 15.
Okay.
Which is 7 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
So I just wanted time with it, because I didn't want it to be that I watched it and I was kind of on a high. And I was like, oh, Blade Runner 2049 is my new favorite movie. And then 6 months later I watch it and I'm like, no, it's not as good as The Matrix.
But when was the last time you saw The Matrix?
Like 2 months ago.
When did you watch it? 2 months ago.
We watched it.
We did not watch it.
Oh, no, I watched it while I was doing Pipette's at work.
Okay, so that doesn't even count because you probably weren't even paying fully attention.
Okay, I'll rewatch The Matrix.
Well, I mean...
I know every line of the movie.
I feel like you should watch Blade Runner 2049 all the way through. Get what you can out of it.
Yes.
And watch The Matrix all the way through. Get what you can out of it. And then decide.
That's okay.
Because if you've seen Blade Runner the most recent and the last time you saw The Matrix was more than months or years ago, like...
No, that's fair.
Your opinion has changed vastly in that amount of time.
I will try to report back next episode on our round table. How's that?
All right, fine.
Because if we watch it with Austin, then I'll watch The Matrix, and I can report back on which one's my new favorite movie. Because everybody cares. Have you been watching anything else?
There's Letterkenny.
We're always chugging away on Letterkenny.
And then we're trying to get through all of Game of Thrones before the new season comes out.
Yep.
We're on season 5 now.
Season 5. We're going to have to watch so much goddamn Game of Thrones.
This week, yeah.
It's getting there. I don't think we're going to make it.
We could.
We're gonna have to
If
watch,
I
like,
would just stop.
2 episodes a day.
If I would stop saying that I don't want to watch it. I know it's like 95, 99% my fault that we're not as far as we are. Because Aaron and Marty always want to watch, but I never want to watch it. Because it's painful to watch. It's a painful
Well, also
show.
I do other stuff while we watch it.
You also
'Cause
do
you and
other
I have
stuff.
seen it. You just sit there and watch it, which makes it a much more of a time sink.
Yeah. So, I mean,
We'll get through it. We'll get
there's
there.
that. What else have we watched? I know we've watched some other stuff.
Yeah.
And I can't... Let me look. I'm going to go look, guys. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
We were very prepared for this.
We're always prepared.
Oh, what did you... Oh,
What?
American Wedding.
Oh, shit, yeah. We watched American
Or did we
Pie.
talk about that last episode?
I don't know. Did we?
I don't know. And then there's some other movie you made me watch.
We tried watching The 40-Year-Old Virgin.
It's like half a 40-year-old version. Then
We
went to
watched
bed.
over half of that, I think.
Yeah, we watched we were getting to the third act.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know how I feel about that movie. It's okay.
Yeah, it didn't age very well.
I thought it aged kind of well.
Some of the jokes, a little. I think that's good for that though.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna pick our next genre.
Next genre.
So how this works is we're gonna pick a genre from a list of genre, and then next week, for our podcast, Marty, Sureyya, and I, maybe a special guest, we'll see, are each going to bring a topic. We'll discuss it. It could be about anything, movies, video games, anything we're interested in. Also, you've been playing Mass Effect 2.
Yes, I have.
I also
been.
wanted to talk about things we've been playing too,
Oh, okay.
not just TV shows and movies.
Okay,
So,
yeah. I've been playing Mass Effect 2.
You've been binging the fuck out of some Mass
which
Effect
is
2.
which is a problem because I don't want to burn myself out of it like
Yeah.
I did with Assassin's Creed
Well, you just have to be done tonight.
Odyssey.
You just have to be done tonight. You're done now. Right?
I want to play some more.
No. It's already 10 o'clock.
I don't care.
You're done for tonight. You're going to burn out. You gotta control yourself. But so next week, we'll each bring a topic, we'll discuss it, and then I will reveal my pick, because I always go first, my pick for the genre, and then the week after that, it will be 3 more movie reviews over the next 3 weeks of what we pick.
Yes.
So, the genres we could get are sci-fi fantasy. We're leaving that one in because we just did sci-fi before, but they're going to be grouped together.
Okay, so it could be fantasy.
Yeah, so you could do fantasy. So sci-fi is fantasy, that's one. That's just one group together, those 2. Horror, action, romance, thriller, comedy, animated, and foreign.
I want it to be foreign so bad.
You want foreign. I am rooting for animated.
Those would be very bad. Those 2 genres would be very bad for me. Because there's so much.
Alright, I'm going to click the button. You ready?
Yeah. Foreign.
Comedy.
Fuck! Ah, shit. Okay, fine.
So, next week I will reveal what comedy movie we will be watching.
I don't know what
That's a broad category. That's a broad genre.
That's why we should have done like rom-com.
Rom-com was on there, but you can do rom-coms for this.
I could.
That's it's comedy's right in the name. Just abbreviated.
Okay. Alright, fine. Good luck choosing a comedy, Aaron. Oh my god, it'll probably be the most dry fucking thing.
I'm gonna pick a serious man just to make you suffer through it with
Don't
me.
want to watch that.
Alright, thank you everybody for listening. You can find us on SoundCloud or iTunes as Deus Ex Cinema. We also have a YouTube channel called The Default White Guys, and Sureyya does a great job managing our Instagram page under Default White Guys.
You should all just check out our erotic fan fictions.
We did on the YouTube channel. We did just put up a video last week where we did erotic fan fiction crossovers of SpongeBob and Mario. Obviously not safe for children, not safe for work. It is very sexually explicit, but it's very funny. Maybe that's what I'll pick for my comedy movie.
I mean, let's just say there's a line. Ooh, it's a me and I'm a coming.
Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week.
Bye.